All right. So I have my son here with me, and God he's not really being all that good, honestly. And he doesn't want to go away. He wants to hang out with daddy. So we're going to make a video with Judah talking about being a dad and talking about some other things. So the reason I've got him with me is because God, as I was trying to get him to leave so I can record the rest of the videos, God kind of reminded me of something, and that is he's been really highlighting um, the teachings of Jesus and adjusting my focus, so to speak. So I would say that as I've grown, there's been a huge focus on um, worship because I'm a worship leader, I'm a musician. But he's kind of adjusting that and putting that a little bit further towards the background. Um, Not because worship isn't important, but because there's something more important. Um, I also have had this time of trying to focus on the gifts and trying to have supernatural experiences with God, desiring after those things, seeking after those things, seeking after, prophecy and things like that. But again, he's moved those things off to the side a little bit. Not, again, they're important, and for sure, God's gifts are for the body. But as I look at the scriptures, I see Jesus, especially in Matthew, I see Jesus, his focus is so much more on the kingdom. And essentially, what I've been on this journey of is trying to understand what it is that God means. Like, what is the kingdom? Like, and why is Jesus so much more focused on this than sin itself? We get a lot of that, a lot of emphasis on the law and a lot of emphasis on sin itself. But let's focus on the kingdom. And what does it have to do with my son, right? Because as Jesus is emphasizing the kingdom, he is talking about more of love, number one. Love being as one of the primary focuses, relationships being one of the primary focuses, not just that he didn't just come for us to be righteous, but he came to redeem the sinners. So that's why you see him like going out of his way to meet with the Samaritan woman who obviously was not a pure person. She had like he said, you had 7 husbands and the one you're living with somebody who ain't even your husband. But yet he went out of his way for her. Read the story. It's one of the gospels. It might be in a few of them. But he goes out of his way for her. He meets with Zacchaeus, and I've been watching The Chosen. And The Chosen kind of highlights um the Israelites like disdain for these tax collectors. And he sees that Zacchaeus, who's obviously a sinner, is sitting high up on the sycamore tree just so he can see him. And he's like, I like that faith. I want that. Like this faith, I want to be by this guy. Bring him to me. Bring this guy to me. This guy is like a sinner. He's like one of the worst of the worst. Because he's a chief tax collector, meaning that he's like moved up through the ranks, right? In collecting money from the Israelite people in order to pay Rome, right? So over and over again, he's sitting with sinners, he's healing sick people, and rebuking all the religious people, and furthermore, emphasizing the kingdom. So what God has been kind of showing me is this shift in the mentality from a focus on church attendance, a focus on just simple works. Like, it's not just simple works. It's like, but an accountability to taking care of the poor. And for me, seeing that my kids, I mean, he's little, he's 4, he'll be 4 tomorrow.
I am 4.
He is 4.
Cause it was my birthday.
Yeah, we celebrated his birthday on Friday. But the point is that what God is telling me is the importance.
Now, Daddy, it's no weeks.
No weeks, exactly. No more weeks till your birthday.
That's this week.
You're right. But God has just been highlighting to me the importance of a balance, of seeking Him first, obviously, doing good works.
One more sleep, and then one more sleep, then one more sleep, and then one more sleep. And then this is my birthday.
And now it's your birthday, right? But He's been emphasizing with me the importance of not only like seeking after Him and serving, like serving others, but also serving and being present with my own kids. So He's just been, and my own wife for that matter. So He's been highlighting a lot of that. Now my wife came in with food, so obviously he's hungry. So, but He's been highlighting a lot of that for me lately, changing the importance of just simply just making music, changing the importance of worship by itself, because He's still like saying like worship. He's even calling me to worship today, worshiping in my own home, with my own family, and worshiping Him on a regular basis, in music, but also worship as a sacrifice of my whole life. So, at the end of the day, I just wanted to bring my kid on, because I just felt like God saying, like, use that opportunity of Him being by you to kind of just highlight the fact that I keep on telling you, this is God speaking, that He keeps on telling me how important it is for me to be present with my family, to be present with my wife, to be present with my kids, and that the end all be all is not just the work I do outside of my home, but it's also the work that I do inside of my home. I hope that helps you in some kind of way, because I sincerely feel like Jesus kind of bringing an emphasis on the kingdom, and He's changing our hearts and our minds to go away from our traditional church models, where we're so focused on attendance, so focused on tithes, that we are now changing to being focused on the kingdom of God on an individual level, where we are accountable to how we behave on a day-to-day, how we relate to God and how we relate to others. So I hope this blesses you in some kind of way. And until the next time, I'll see you again. Please, like, share, and subscribe as always, but just watch other videos. I hope that you can find value in what God has showed us through all of the other videos that we've shared. So until next time, peace and God bless.